Hey, it's Dan Morales. This is Homebuyer Radio, episode number 161. I am still amazed that we have as many episodes of this podcast as we have. But the truth is, there's never a shortage of things to talk about. Every week, there's a whole host of new situations that clients run into, a whole host of changes and guidelines that are moving, and the world of mortgages is changing and good stuff like that. What I want to talk about a little bit is there's a growing number of folks who ask the question where do you see the housing market go, right? Where do you see the housing market go? Where do you see interest rates go? The truth be told, nobody can predict with any certainty, right? Everybody's going to make, some kind of educated guess as to where they think rates are going to go, where they think the housing market's going to go. And generally, those educated guesses are slanted to try to, portray the most positive outcome for that person's, lot in life, right? If you're a realtor, you're going to, see the best in the market. Oh, there's still a lot of transactions that are going on. Houses are still selling. I don't think there's going to be much of an impact, on values as a result of the coronavirus. If you're a lender, you're talking about, I think rates are going to continue to look, good, but, now may be a great time to jump in. There's all these variables that, none of us know what the future holds. So what we have to do is we have to look at, the information we have, what's at hand now, what are we currently seeing in the market, what have we seen historically. I've seen a lot of people try to compare the pandemic to the, housing market or, economic, trouble we had in 2008. They're not the same thing, okay? When you look at, the pandemic and you look at, unemployment being what it is right now, that is, a historic high, right? Probably the highest it's ever been in, since they've kept track of unemployment. And during 2008, we had unemployment that was nowhere close to where it is now. Well, that's going to have an impact, right? An impact, where there's people that, don't have a job, it is going to have an impact. Now, what that impact is going to be remains to be seen. But there is going to be an impact. Now, with that being said, during, I'm in Michigan, and, during our stay-at-home process, we had a number of clients buy houses. We had a number of clients that found themselves competing against multiple offers during that period of time. So, we're still seeing property sell. We're still seeing a lot of folks that are out there. There's still a lot of demand. We're still seeing, that, predominantly for the most part, still a seller's market. So there are still deals getting done, but, can we see that shift? Will we see a shift? Will we see people not want to sell their house? Will we see people, want to sell their house? I don't know that anybody can predict with any certainty. The one thing that we can predict is that things are going to change. The one thing that we do know for sure is we are living in really a historic time, okay? The pandemic and the things that we're going through this is a historical period of time to be alive. And I have some clients that, fail to recognize that, when you're in a world where, historical things are happening and, a lot of things are very fluid, they're changing. I have a lot of clients that, just sometimes think it's just business as usual, that, there shouldn't be any changes or things shouldn't be more difficult or it should be easier. The truth is, I think the world is figuring out how to kind of, pick back up and move forward. And, what does that look like in the midst of, maybe an economy that looks very different than what it did prior to this? So nobody knows the answers. Okay. So if you listen to this podcast hoping that some way, somehow, Dan Morales in good old Michigan would know the answer, you're wrong. Okay. And by the way, nobody in Wall Street knows the answer either. It is truly uncharted territory where, the outcome of different things remains to be seen. Now, I can tell you, though, my own personal thought process or opinion is that, in the midst of every challenge, there's opportunity. Could there be a great buying opportunity for those of you who are very, stable, consistent, safe, and secure in your employment? Would there be a great buying opportunity? I think there could be. I think, market pricing may become a little closer to normal. What normal looks like, I don't know what that is. But if you combine that with, historically favorable interest rates, you may have a great opportunity to buy a property and secure cheap money, right? Like if you can get a good price and get a good cost of money, that's a double win. So, for those of you who have the ability to buy, and have maybe been sitting on the sidelines and wondering whether or not, I should jump in and, look at, what the options are for you, I think it's worth at least considering. Compare that to maybe what the options are to rent, or what other housing options you may have. If you look at it, and in many cases, you can buy a house with a minimal down payment and have a very favorable monthly payment that may be substantially better than what you'd pay in rent. That sounds like a heck of a great investment, seeing that you got to have a roof over your head. Ideally, we all want to have a roof over our head. That might be a great way to make a good investment that over the long term pays off really well for you. Okay. Hey, I'm Dan Morales, America's Mortgage Man. You can find me online at 616-931-4629. It's actually my phone number. You can find me online at danmorales.com. That's DANMORALEZ.com. My MLS number is 709-729. And of course, North Point Bank is an equal housing lender. Have a great day. See ya.